Welcome to Chemistry Buds. Today I will discuss the phenol water system. This is a very interesting system and you can perform this experiment in the laboratory and also the students can take it as a project in the 6th semester. So let us study it briefly. So the phenol water system, these are two liquids which are partially miscible. That means the water is miscible in phenol to some extent and phenol is miscible in water to some extent. And by large we can see it is two layers will be formed if the miscibility proportion increases. In the last video I have discussed the water chloroform acetic acid system. The water chloroform were also partially miscible liquids, and in that case we kept temperature and pressure constant and used to add third component, acetic acid. The acetic acid is soluble in water and soluble in chloroform, and that increases the mutual solubility of two components. The presence of acetic acid there increases the mutual solubility of partially miscible liquid. Okay, but in this case, phenol water system, you will see the effect of temperature on the partial miscibility. That means if the temperature will be raised, then the miscibility of the two liquids will be increased. Suppose we have taken phenol and water, then in the container two layers will be formed. The bottom layer will be the phenolic layer and the upper layer, that is the water layer. So the density of phenol, it is somewhat 1.07 gram per milliliter, and the water, as you know, this is 1 gram per ml. So water is lighter, so it occupies the upper layer. But you see, in the two layers, one is the upper layer is the aqueous layer and the lower layer is the organic layer, that is the phenolic layer. So in the organic layer, the water in phenol. That means the water present in the phenol is, for proportion of phenol is more and the proportion of water is less. That is at 25 degrees centigrade, the percentage of phenol is 75% and water is 25%. And in the aqueous layer, the proportion is 95% water and 5% phenol. So this shows water is more soluble in phenol and phenol is less soluble in water. So when we take two components in a container, the water comes to the phenol and the phenol moves to the water. And at a particular temperature, so this is a solution and this is a solution. So there are two solutions. So this is one and two. So these two solutions. One is phenol in water and other is water in phenol. And these two solutions are saturated solutions. Okay? These two solutions are saturated solutions. So this is a homogeneous layer, this is a homogeneous layer, and the two solutions are at equilibrium at a particular temperature, and these two solutions are called conjugate solutions. Conjugate solutions. Okay? So these two solutions are at equilibrium with each other at a particular temperature are called conjugate solutions, and these two solutions are saturated solution. So we are considering 25 degrees centigrade. So at 25 degrees centigrade, if you consider the aqueous layer, there will be 5% of phenol and 95% of water. And if you consider the organic layer, and here it will be the 75% phenol and 25% water. So if we consider the variables, here the graph will be the composition versus temperature. So water percentage here it is 100% water, and here it is 100% phenol. Okay. Suppose let us perform the experiment. So by experiment we can understand it easily. So for easy understanding, let us take here we have taken in this hard glass test tube 10 ml of water. Okay. So to it, let us add 0.5 ml of phenol. So the percentage of phenol is 0.5 by 10.5 into 100. Okay. So this is less than 5%. Okay. So it is completely soluble, completely miscible. The two components becomes homogeneous. But in the next step, say add 1, again you add 0.5 ml. So again you add 0.5 ml to the previous one. So the composition of phenol will be 1 by 11 into 100, that is equal to 9%. Okay. So as it is 9%, it will form a heterogeneous solution, because up to this is a 5% phenol. So this is in this range of water and phenol, composition of water and phenol, this is homogeneous, and as it is 9 somewhat here, so it becomes heterogeneous and turbidity will appear. If you shake it, it will not homogeneous become, it will become heterogeneous and turbidity will appear. So this is in this range, it will form heterogeneous. Okay. So, and this is 75% phenol. Okay. That means 25% water. So this composition corresponds to 25% water. Okay. So as we have added 1 ml of phenol to 10 ml of water, the percentage composition of phenol becomes 9%, and it becomes heterogeneous. So if we raise the temperature of the mixture, then what will happen? This will become miscible. Okay. If we raise the temperature, this will become miscible. So now comes to here. So this is the graph. So this corresponds to 5%. And when we have added 1 ml of phenol to 10 ml of water, the percentage composition of phenol becomes 9%, and when we heated it becomes miscible at this temperature. Again, you add 1 milliliter of phenol plus 1 ml phenol. Then what will happen? The percentage composition will change. So the percentage composition will be 2 by 12 into 100. Okay. So in this composition, the turbidity will appear again, and if we heat it, then this will be miscible, say somewhat higher temperature. And if we cool it, the turbidity will reappear. So to this container, let us add some more phenol. Say 3 ml of 3 ml phenol. So the total content will be 13, and the percentage composition will be 3 by 13 into 100. Okay. So at this composition, if we heat, then at a higher temperature, the solution will be, the mixture will be homogeneous. The heterogeneous mixture will be homogeneous. Again, say add 1 milliliter, so 4 by 13 into 100. So at this composition, if we heat, then it will be miscible at this temperature. So similarly, in this way, we will go on adding phenol to the water, and we see that the temperature increases. Okay? At a higher temperature, the two components becomes homogeneous. That means miscible. So let us add another ml. So 5 by 15. Okay. So 5 by 15 into 100. That is 33.3%. Okay. So at this composition, say when this will be heated, so this will be miscible at this temperature, corresponding to this temperature. But when the composition will be 34%, then it will be miscible at this temperature. Okay, particularly. So we are not concerned about the 34%. So let us take it again. Let us add and make the composition of phenol, say 8 by 18 into 100. That means total phenol content in this test tube will be 8 ml and water 10 ml. So total content 18 ml, and percentage composition of phenol is 8 by 18 into 100. Okay. So it exceeds this. Then if we heat this mixture, then the heterogeneity will disappear at somewhat this temperature, at lower temperature. So again, you take 10 by 20 into 100. So 50% of phenol, say this one, or 60% of phenol. So the temperature will fall. At lower temperature, it will become miscible. Okay. When phenol composition will increase, then again the miscibility will be achieved. The homogeneity will be achieved at a lower temperature. And if we plot the graph, if we connect the graphs, we will get this type of graph. And this is the composition 34%, and temperature corresponds to 65.8 degree centigrade, or roughly we can say this is 66 degree centigrade. So this is called the critical solution temperature or consolute temperature. critical solution temperature or consolute temperature or consolute temperature. Okay, so this is the upper temperature. After above this temperature, the phenol and water will be miscible in all proportions. Okay, so this is called critical solution temperature or consolute temperature. So above the consolute temperature, the two components are miscible in all proportions, and this is the upper consolute critical solution temperature or upper consolute temperature, because we are getting a higher this type of curve, and in some cases if we lower the temperature, then the miscibility will increase. So in that case you will get a curve like this one, and this one will be the LCST, lower critical solution temperature, and this is UCST, upper critical solution temperature. So as we raise the temperature and raise the composition, the miscibility of two components occurs at a higher temperature. So if we consider this one, so when we increase the composition, the miscibility of the two components occurs at a higher temperature. Okay, so when we again increase the phenol composition, this also increases, and when we again increase the composition, the miscibility occurs at a higher temperature, and so if we increase the further, then the miscibility occurs at a lower temperature. Okay, so we can get a curve like this. Okay, so this is the maximum temperature. Okay, so plotting the curve, we are getting this is the maximum temperature, that is 66 degrees centigrade, and this composition is 34% phenol. So 34% phenol means 66% water. So this is called the upper critical solution temperature or consolute temperature. Okay, so this curve, this is the temperature versus composition, and also this is the plot. But when you will perform the experiment, there you have to observe this container. You will put a thermometer inside it, and the temperature will be recorded from the thermometer, at which temperature the heterogeneity disappears and the solution mixture becomes homogeneous. So then as it is heated, the temperature will rise after the homogeneity is formed. Okay, so again you have to observe that when the solution mixture will be cooled, then at which temperature the turbidity reappears. Then you have to take the temperature where the turbidity or heterogeneity disappear, and you have to record the temperature where the turbidity reappear, and take the mean, and this will be the mean temperatures. Okay, so at different composition the experiment will be repeated, and you will record two temperatures. The temperature at which, when you are heating, you will record the temperature at which the disappearance of heterogeneity occurs, and again when the solution will be cooled, you will record the temperature at which the turbidity reappears. Okay, so taking the mean of these two temperatures, you will plot the composition versus temperature, and you will get a graph like this. Okay, and for project work, if you take this experiment as a project work, then you can study the effect of different electrolytes like sodium chloride, potassium chloride, calcium chloride concentration, and also the effect of electrolyte valency like calcium chloride, sodium chloride, univalent, bi-univalent. Okay, then you will compare the effects and report. So that will be a very good project also. So I hope you can perform this in the lab and verify, and also you will enjoy when you will perform the experiment. So now you give your like and share to your friends, and also comment in the comment box. Thank you for watching this video.